Hey team, so I know a lot of you are serving in the military. Some of you that are watching this video for the first time may be serving in the Army, Air Force, Marines, Coast Guard, Navy. Maybe you're in the Space Force, or maybe you're seeking to go apply to the Navy SEALs or one of our elite special forces or Ranger School. And some of you are focusing on improving your Army ACFT 2-mile run time. And I just recently created a course specifically for soldiers, but also for other members of the military, as well as civilians that are training to run a faster 2-mile time. Now, I know with the Coast Guard and the Air Force, you focus mainly on the 1.5-mile run. I know the Marines focus on the 3-mile run. And if some of you who are in the military that are focusing on applying to the Navy SEALs, obviously already know that you need to run at a minimum 31 minutes for 4 miles at Navy SEALs training. So there are a lot of athletes around the world, both civilian as well as military, that are trying to run a faster 2-mile, and I wanted to create an online resource, a running course specifically for military members that are training to run faster on their physical fitness test. I think with the 2-mile distance, I mean, obviously it's a very highly anaerobic event, so you have to develop your speed. You have to work on being able to clear lactic acid faster than it's building up. And you can't do that by running easy, several times a week. Yes, you're going to build endurance. You're going to build confidence, obviously, but you need that strength, stamina, and speed in order to run a fast 2-mile. And you have to be smart, too, in terms of your pacing in the early stages of that effort. I served over 20 years in the Army. I'm a former member of the Army World Class Athlete Program. I was stationed at Fort Carson during my time with that prestigious unit, and I've had ups and downs along in the sport as well. But I ended up running a 9:27 for the 2-mile, a 4:22 for the full mile distance, 1,609 meters, 14:18 for 5K, and ended up running 2:19:35 for the marathon. I had a lot of setbacks. I had a lot of failures. I got beat many times too. So I wanted to make sure that the athletes that see me on these videos understand that I didn't have a great deal of talent. Okay, I started running in 1992. I've been running for over 30 years, pretty much retired from the sport of competitive racing in 2018, and launched my coaching business at RunDreamAchieve.com. But as a military member, you're dealing with a lot of stress. You're working a full-time job, and I've been there. Like I said, I served over 20 years on active duty myself. So you're juggling field training exercises, trying to prepare for deployments. But when it comes to the 2-mile, the name of the game is getting across that finish line in record time, as fast, being able to cover those 8 laps as efficiently as you possibly can. And so what you'll be learning in this particular course that I created, it has 9 modules with 58 lessons, where I'm covering everything under the sun when it comes to running faster over 2 miles and even up to the marathon distance, because the tactics and fundamentals that I cover range from anaerobic threshold training and understanding why doing tempo runs and extending the amount of time you're spending at that particular effort is so critical in order to get that 2-mile or 1.5-mile or 3-mile race pace to feel easier, more manageable for you. Okay, I talk about pacing. I talk about mental rehearsal, why mental training is so important, and why the top middle to long distance runners focus on both mental as well as physical training. The majority of the soldiers, sailors, Marines, Coast Guardsmen, airmen, guardians that are in your unit are more than likely not running enough. Okay, I've seen it. I understand it. I know you don't have control of what you're able to do during morning PT for most military members. Obviously, if you score much higher, or you score a perfect score, a lot of military units, military commanders will let you train on your own. But in most cases, for most military members, they have to do what their platoon leader, what their squadron leader, what their team leader, platoon sergeant tells them to do in morning PT. That being said, you're still in control, okay? You still have control of what you can do in terms of putting in an additional workout during lunch or after work. It's what you do during those off hours after morning PT that's going to dictate how successful you're going to be at running the 2-mile distance on the ACFT test. As you know, it's new. It's a new test. We no longer do the APFT, so we don't just do push-ups and sit-ups. You're doing a total of 6 different events. So you have 5 different events that you have to do before going to run that 2-mile all out. So what's critical about running at faster paces, running at your VO2 max, which is your maximum oxygen uptake. It's your body's maximum capability to transport oxygen throughout your body while you're running at maximum effort. So when you're doing those speed workouts, whether those are repeat 400s, repeat 200s, you're doing hill repetitions, maybe you're doing fartlek workouts where you're running 1 minute hard followed by 1 minute easy. Doing those types of workouts coupled with extending the amount of time you're training at your anaerobic threshold, which is around 88% of your maximum heart rate, that's going to help you sustain pace longer. It's going to help you to recruit more fast twitch muscle fibers. And the more of those that you can recruit, the more effective, more efficient you're going to be able to run. And as I talk about in the course, it's very, very important that you pay attention to running a negative split. Try to focus on being a little bit more conservative in the first mile, not going out so aggressive and going into oxygen debt, which will force you to slow down in that second mile, but be a little bit more conservative and really attack after you get past the first mile, okay? Because so many military members take off, run too aggressive in the early stages of the race, and then they fall apart in the latter stages of the race, okay? You have to have a plan in place. This particular course takes you from A to Z, takes you from being out of shape, being not race ready, to going into a proper taper, teaching you the proper tactics and strategies that you need to follow in order to be successful. What I also see is a lot of athletes start dropping volume and intensity too far out from their main effort. Okay, this could be road racing in the military. It's us focusing on our ACFT test, or if you're in the Navy, the PRT test. Every military branch obviously has their own physical fitness test, but we all are similar in the fact that we're all running right around anywhere from 1.5 miles to 3 miles. Okay, if you're focusing on going to Delta Force or Special Forces or Navy SEALs or the Ranger School, then you obviously are definitely going to have to focus on running further and focusing more than just a 2-mile or a 3-mile race or a 3-mile effort. This particular course not only will help you run faster through 1.5 miles or 2 miles, but it's also going to help you become much more effective at running up to the marathon distance. Okay, I understand what it takes to run a decently fast paces from the mile all the way up to the marathon distance, and it wasn't an overnight success. It took me several years. Nothing can take the place of consistency, persistent effort. Okay, if you're lacking talent, then you can make up for it with your work ethic. The only difference is your results might not come quite as fast as the athlete that has a great deal of genetic talent. Okay, I'm a perfect example of that. I got beat by athletes that seemed like they ran super fast times just about every other month, where it took me several years to get to that point. Okay, but what I learned from some of the world's top distance running coaches, as well as having trained with and lived with world-class runners that ran much, much faster than I ran, all of these professionals, all of these particular specialists in their own field taught me what it takes to use leverage in the sport of middle to long distance running. Okay, I want you to set a new personal best over the 2-mile distance, especially if you're in the Army. Okay, if you're in another branch of the service, you are going to set a new personal best if you follow the fundamentals I teach in this course. I'm 100% confident that you will go into this course, you'll finish the course after learning all the tactics throughout the videos, but at the very end, at the conclusion of the course, there's a 16-week training plan. Okay, and it's going to be built specifically around your particular goal time that you want to run. Okay, patience is key. How you set up your training, how fast you're running on your easy days is absolutely essential, and learning how to back off and how fast you're running on your fast days, and making sure that you're running fast enough in order to get that training stimulus that you need. Okay, again, easy running just about anybody in the military can do. But running fast is an art form, and only the very best runners that are focused and committed, 100% committed to succeeding and following the tactics that the world's top middle to long distance runners are doing will get those results and run at that particular level. So I definitely want to encourage you to at least check out, or below this video, the link to the ACFT, the Army AFC Embrace the Suck 2-mile running course. I think it's really going to help you out. If and definitely share it as well. Share the link with other members of your unit, your command, and I hope that what I teach in that particular course will help take you as a soldier, you as an airman, you as a Marine, sailor, Coast Guardsman, or Guardian to the next level in your fitness. So I wish you all the best. Feel free to leave me a comment if you have any other questions regarding the course, or any other questions you have in terms of training, mental training, physical training, whatever you have in mind. Definitely I'm always available and always respond back to the people that take the time to comment. Like this video, share it with your friends and family and coworkers. I really appreciate your support. And check out RunDreamAchieve.com. I've had the website since 2011, so been working, creating content, written content and video content for the last 11 years on the site. And I just wanted to see the athletes, both military as well as civilians, succeed in this sport. So I wish you all the best, and I'll talk to you in the next video.